Alright folks, this time I'm coming to you with some practical advice. And if you have kids or hang out with kids for some reason, this advice is going to do you a world of good. I'm going to help you free up your Saturdays so you can drink alone, and if you so choose, watch some sports that you actually want to watch that aren't being played by your neighbor's disappointing children. So let's get into it. Here are my top 10 excuses to get out of going to my kids' soccer games. Number 10, I'm hungover. This one is your most basic cut and dry excuse there is. You can try to bring it down to his level if you'd like and say, Daddy isn't feeling good today, but he saw me drink 6 Manhattans yesterday, so he's going to know what that means regardless. This excuse is perfect because it takes the blame out of your hands by putting the blame right into the hands of you from yesterday. It's like, damn champ, I really wanted to go to your game today, but there's no way I could have anticipated that those 6 drinks from last night would negatively affect my body. That leads us right into our next excuse. Number 9, I'm currently drunk. With this one, you're going to have no choice but to take the lion's share of blame, since present-day you is the one who drank this time, but who gives a shit? What, are you going to feel bad for letting your kid down? If that's how you feel, this list may not be for you. This one's probably going to give you more of a hard time with your wife than with the kid, because if the kid gives you any lip, you can just use your drunk dad voice, and that'll scare the shit out of him. You may even get him to get you a beer before he leaves for his game. Number 8. Haven't I gone to enough of these fucking things? This is the one where you point out to your kid that, hey, you know what? I paid my dues. I put in the time. I've seen what you're capable of, and it's pretty obvious to me and all the other dads in the stands that you are absolutely not getting better at this shit. Are these words going to be tough for your 10-year-old kid to hear? You bet they are. Are they important for him to hear to make him into the man that he needs to become? I have no idea. What do I read parenting books? This kid is fucked. Number 7. I have money on the other team. This one can be a lie, but if you're trying to make a little extra scratch and you know deep down that your kid is going to blow it and ruin the whole game for his team, you might as well make an honest man of yourself and put a few hundo on the other team. If you really want to show your kid where your priorities lie, you can actually go to the game, but sit on the other side. This will also help you out when your kid asks why you never cheer for him. You can just tell him, listen, I can either cheer for you, or I can win enough money cheering against you to buy you presents at Christmas. It's up to you. Then when Christmas comes around, you can just tell him Santa doesn't love him either, and that's why he's getting nothing. Number 6. Have you ever watched soccer? It's the most goddamn boring sport there is. Just tell him there's a marathon of paint drying on the Discovery Channel you've been looking forward to all month. Like, it's a fucking soccer game. Even if my kid were good, there's not a remote chance he could do anything interesting in a soccer game. What's he gonna do, score a goal? The only way he's gonna score a goal is if the other team's goalie is as terrible as he is. In which case, they'd probably become best friends, and I have to deal with my kid bringing his shitty friend over my house. Fuck that. Number 5. I'm probably not even really your father. This one could come as a bit of a surprise to him if you haven't already talked to him about what a goddamn whore his mother was while you were dating. But he's gonna find out eventually. And if you're anything like me, you remind him and her every single time you see her face. Calling his mother a whore is another good trick to make sure that she gets full custody, so you almost never have to see this kid. Which brings us to the next excuse. Number 4. Your mother is a goddamn whore. Again, this one may rely on whether or not he already has this intimate knowledge of his mother, but if he already knows, you're golden. You basically never have to be around either of them ever again. Just explain to him, listen son, sometimes when a man and a woman hate each other so goddamn much, the only way they can be around each other is if I've had 7 or 8 beers, and I really don't feel like loading up the cooler for this shit. Number 3. My car won't start, which is the only reason I'm not in it sitting in my garage right now. Now, unless your kid is some kind of Tony Stark mechanical genius, he's probably not going to call you out on this one. If he's as dumb as my kid, you can just pretend to start the car while making sputtering engine noises with your mouth, and I'm pretty sure he'll buy it. This could also be a good opportunity to blame this shit on him. Just tell him the car would be fine if I didn't have to spend all my money on your birthday gift last month. And then if he correctly remembers that you didn't actually give him a birthday gift, you could just make up something about it getting lost in the mail. He doesn't know how this shit works, so it's fine. Number 2. The bar closes at 2 a.m., so I think I'm just going to stay here until then. This one will sting for him, but he'll understand. If you're anything like me, your kid is already used to the idea that for every significant milestone in his life, his dad was at the bar. First steps, I'm hammered at the bar. First words, you already know where I am. First A+ on a test? Hey, that's great, champ. Let's go celebrate at Applebee's. You get a table with your mom, and I'll post up at the bar. Hell, I may even show up to the kid's wedding one day if there's an open bar. and the number one excuse to get out of going to your kid's soccer game. Just tell him you are going to go, and when he calls you out after, just say, "What do you mean? I just spent all afternoon at a soccer game. Was that not yours? I was cheering for a kid who looked just like you. I was the proudest I've ever been of you." I've used this excuse no fewer than 8 times, and I don't seem to have had any kind of negative consequences from it. In fact, my kid doesn't even ask me to go to his games anymore, so problem solved.